Questions about this shooting. Let's turn to Reverend Craig Robinson, the senior pastor at the Bethel AME Church in New York. He joins us via Skype. Reverend, thank you for being on our program.
Thank you so much, Asiye. Thank you so much.
First, I'd like to get your reaction to what has happened in this historic church in the city of Charleston, South Carolina.
It's a shock to all of us. When one AME church is hit, we all feel it. And all of us around the world, worldwide, are saddened, we are hurt, we are angry, we are confused, and deeply touched by the loss of life of one of our sister churches, one of the flagship churches of South Carolina, Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston.
So how can this community begin the grieving process and eventually the healing process?
I think Mother Emanuel, as well as many of the other AME churches around the world, are doing the same thing, and that is beginning the healing process in a moment or in moments of earnest prayer. In New York, where I am, all of the churches have been called to do prayer, to lead prayer vigils, to lead moments of processing for members. Within the history of South Carolina, many of the members in New York have family who are in South Carolina, some of who are members of Mother Emanuel. AME churches around New York area have many transplants from South Carolina. And so all of the pastors in the New York area are leading prayer vigils right now, including my own church.
Reverend Robinson, what do you tell parents who may be afraid to take their children back into church, afraid to go into church for their Bible lessons? I mean, what do you tell people who are simply afraid?
And that's one of the hard things about a situation like this. There's nothing you can really say that's going to assuage fear immediately. And yet we encourage, we assure people that while the world might be in a state of danger and violence, God is still very much real. And in spite of what has happened, the sanctuary is still a safe place. And I am personally, as the pastor of Bethel AME Church, going to demonstrate that tonight by holding a vigil in my own sanctuary to reclaim the safety of the house of God as a place where you can come and come without fear.
Do you think we need to step up security in these churches across the country?
More security is never a bad thing. As long as it does not impede people from seeing the church as a place of welcome. I will be having police coverage during my own prayer vigil at Bethel. I do know several churches that have security. My own officers are going to be even more vigilant and diligent in making sure that our doors are locked at night when there are programs going on at the church and that someone is standing guard and keeping watch. But I don't want it to ever be thought that the church is not a place of welcome and a place where people can be safe.
And Reverend, we have seen so many mass shootings in the United States, whether it's a gun control, whether it's a mental issues, whether it's simply a hate crime or an act of terror. How do we move forward? How can we prevent these types of attacks?
I think first and foremost, yes, we need to have some serious conversations in the United States. We have to have some serious conversations about the culture of violence that has been cultivated within our country since the beginning of the United States establishment. we do need to talk about gun control and making sure that all policies and procedures are in place to ensure that people who should not have guns are not given guns or allowed to purchase them. But we need to have a conversation about human dignity and and the value of every human life and the need for deep understanding about the connectedness of every human being. Um, that the prejudices that we are and the prejudices and the racism that we are experiencing is nothing more than a construct and or skin deep. And we need to have some serious conversations and some serious truth telling about that in this country so that we can mitigate the violence and the terror that we see today and in years past.
And so many communities, so many families grieving right now. Again, thank you
Yes.
so much for your time, Reverend
Thank you.
Craig Robinson. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you so much.